Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today I'm surrounded by piles of shirts, all for you. So I purchased something like 25 different Sublimation shirts to rank them on several factors so we could decide what is the best Sublimation shirt for your class. So what factors am I going to rank them on? I'm going to rank them on 5 factors. The first one is quality, and that includes the ability to see through them because there's nothing worse than seeing through that white shirt. The second is feel, because I like the feel of cotton, but I need that polyester content for sublimation. So if I can get a shirt that feels something like cotton, that's the best of both worlds. The third is price, and I tried to factor into price both the price of the shirt, the price of shipping, and a little bit of availability kind of factored in there, because I would have more shirts than this, but some of the places I ordered from, the shipping is super slow. And I know that's not always the place that I ordered from's fault. Could be the shipping place. I may rank some of those shirts in a later video. However, these companies that I'm ranking, I know get me product very quickly, which is something I like. The fourth is fit. So there's nothing worse than ordering a shirt thinking it's a large and it fits like a medium. So I tried to look at each of these shirts. I do have like onesies, kids shirts, ladies shirts, and then some that are unisex or men's. So I just kind of had to look at the shirt and determine what I thought the fit would be based on my size or like my eye. So that measurement is sort of up to me, but hopefully that ranking factor thrown in there helps us find the best shirt. And then finally, the fifth is poly count. So most of these I purchased are 100% polyester, but I do have like some 65s in there. So I wanted to rank those a little bit lower because although they work for sublimation, they're not optimal. So 100% polyester shirt would be the optimal thing we could go for. So that's 5 factors, and I ranked them all. So each shirt can have a maximum of 25 points. So I ranked each one on a point scale. So now I'm gonna just like quick as I can, run through each of the shirts, kind of tell you what the score is and a little bit about why it got that score or what I like or don't like about that particular shirt. Then at the end, I will have what my favorite shirts are in each category. So we have onesies, kids, ladies, and men/unisex. I'm putting those all together. So let's start with onesies. So in the onesie category, I actually only have 2 entries. One is from Artistry and one is from Amazon. So they are fairly similar with most of the ranking factors. However, the issue I have with the Amazon one is that the listing says onesies, sublimation blanks, 100% polyester. When it got to me, there's 0 tags on this that say it's 100% polyester. So these type of products make me nervous. So I'm ranking it a little bit lower. So my winner for onesies, because there's only 2 of them, is the Artistry onesie. Very high quality. The see-through factor is really good. The price point is great. And the feel is almost like cotton, like I might be fooled if I was just to pick this up. Now, if you want to chance the Amazon one, it is cheaper and it does rival the Artistry version. I'm just worried that you're not always going to get 100% polyester all the time, but if you're willing to risk it, it might be worth it. Next up is the kids category. I have 4 shirts in this category. Now kids is kind of hard, right? Because you have all the way from like toddler to older children. So I don't know if all of these shirts are available in all the sizes. So that was kind of tough for me, but I did want to pick out a few different brands at least for you to look at. So the first 2 are just like the onesies that we talked about earlier. So I have a shirt from Artistry, and then I have a shirt from Amazon. And again, listing said the same thing, 100% polyester sublimation on the Amazon listing, and I got it and there's no markings anywhere on the shirt. So I'm ranking it a little bit lower than the Artistry because they seem to be fairly comparable in quality, and I don't know if I trust the Amazon listing. So between those 2, the Artistry wins. But I have 2 shirts from Heat Transfer Warehouse that I also wanted to throw in the mix. The first is from Port & Company. It does rank lower than the Artistry version. 1, because you can see through it more. 2, because the feel. So it does feel like polyester. And then the last one is a Sport Tech, also from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Now this one is different, right? So it is gray, so you would need a dark sublimation on it. And then it has like these little details on the sleeves. I wanted to throw some like different shirts in there just to see what would happen. But you may even be able to tell on the screen. You can really see through this version. So it got ranked the lowest actually. And it definitely does feel like polyester. So out of the kids' shirts, I would definitely recommend the Artistry version or chance it with the Amazon version. If you want something different or moisture wicking like for sports, I would go with Heat Transfer Warehouse. So the Artistry and the Amazon both kind of feel like cotton, but with the Heat Transfer Warehouse, you're gonna get that moisture wicking like sport type material. So either the Portland Company, or if you want a little variety in your life, the one with the colors and the white on the sleeves I think would be cute, especially for a sports team. So I don't think you can go wrong with any of the shirts I'm showing, but I did want to rank them on all the factors so you know which one to pick for your particular sublimation project. So let's move on to ladies' shirts. I probably have the most shirts in ladies and then followed by unisex, just because that's what I use more of personally, and this kind of amps up my stash. And so I have shirts, hoodies, I had zipped pullovers, I have tons of different variety tank tops even in these stacks. So I'm going to go through each one and we'll talk about the ranking factors and why I decided that. And then we'll talk about why you might choose one over the other. Start with a few shirts from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So this is a Sport Tech. It is gray with gray sleeves. I don't even think they had white in this. It was different colors. It is 100% polyester. The see-through nature of this shirt is what made me rank it really low. It does feel like polyester. It is like that moisture wicking type sport material. But the see-through gave this a pretty low ranking. Next up from Heat Transfer Warehouse is one that got a much higher ranking, and it is a Gildan Performance. I use these quite a bit actually. It is a little more see-through than some of the other ones that I'm going to show you, but it does feel like cotton, which is the request I get a lot, is what feels like cotton. The Gildan Performance does feel like cotton. And Gildan is like a name that I think everyone knows, so it's easier to go with a brand name that you know sometimes than one that you don't. So I do like these shirts. I use them quite a bit. However, it is more see-through than a lot of the other ones I'm going to show you, but the ranking factors were pretty high. Next up, another Heat Transfer Warehouse, another Sport Tech. Again, very see-through, so it did rank further down. This is like a weird fit one, so it would be more like a large oversized fit, which you might find beneficial for something you're working on, but it would be the same like polyester type sport feel. Still with Heat Transfer Warehouse and Sport Tech, their white versions you can't see through quite as bit. So I found the colors. I thought the colors I wouldn't be able to see through as much, but the colors from the Sport Tech I actually could see through more than just the plain white ones. So that was kind of different. This one is a long sleeve, which, so if you're looking for some variety, you know, some long sleeves might be good. However, it does have a poly feel to it. The see-through is very good. Like, I can barely see through it. It did rank really high on a lot of factors. And this one is a V-neck, and I think I might have a scoop neck as well, or they might have had one and I didn't order it. But overall, very good shirt if you want the polyester feel. So that's what kind of ranked that one a little bit lower. All right, back to some of my Amazon finds. So this was another one of those that says Sublimation shirt, 100% polyester. It's an amazing feel of a shirt. You can't hardly see through it. It's great. Again, it has no labels on the actual shirt that tells me it's 100% polyester. So this is, I feel like I use at your own risk. Now I don't have one, but Artistry makes a similar version, like the kids version and the onesie that I showed you. They make an adult version as well. It is similar in quality. So I will link to it below. So if you want something that is similar in quality, that cotton feel, and don't want to risk the Amazon find, then I will link to the Artistry version. But I'll link to this Amazon find as well. Order it, see what you think. Hopefully you get consistent quality from them. I always worry a little bit about those Amazon finds that are marked weird on the packaging and whether or not it will, you know, be consistent over time. So this is an Amazon find as well, but it's a Hanes. So it is a brand name. It says 100% polyester right on it. However, it feels like 100% polyester. So it would be like a sport type shirt, moisture wicking type of deal. However, the see-through nature of this, you can barely see through it at all. It's like, it's very, very good quality. So the Hanes I ranked really, really high. The only thing that brought it down a little bit was the feel itself of the shirt. Next up, let's talk about the Cricut shirts. So if you don't know, Cricut has their own line of shirts. They're intended for use with infusible ink, but you can use them with sublimation. They are 100% polyester and the feel on them is amazing. They're also really high quality. Can't hardly see through them. Plus, they have white. They have like white with black sleeves. They have gray with regular gray, gray with darker sleeves. There's tons of options on them as well. I pull these out most of the time, I will say that, whenever I'm working on a sublimation project or working on a shirt to give someone. The white is maybe a little more see-through than I like. The grays are really awesome. So I would say that give the Cricut shirts a try, but the white may be a little more see-through than you want it to be. And I don't feel like they're like really budget friendly, like you might find that budget friendly one on Amazon and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And the Cricut shirt, unless you find them on sale, might not live up to that budget price expectation. So now let's look at some shirts that aren't t-shirts or long sleeve shirts, but more like specialty type shirts. This one is from Heat Transfer Warehouse and it is like a sleeveless shirt. 100% polyester. You can't hardly see through it. Very high quality. However, it does have that polyester feel. So it dropped it down a little bit on the ranking factors, but overall a really good quality. And if you're looking for something for like sports and workouts that doesn't have sleeves, highly, highly recommend this one. And it is a Sport Tech, if I did not say the brand. And then another Sport Tech, and this one is a tank. Same deal. So it is really high quality, but it has that polyester sports feel, which in a tank top you might actually want. You might not want that cottony feel. So if you're looking for a workout tank, definitely check out Heat Transfer Warehouse. They ranked really high regardless of the polyester feel on those. Then this one is a Sport Tech, long sleeve, and it has a little hood. And then the sleeves have like little thumb holes in them. I really love this. However, it does feel like polyester. The see-through nature, it is mid-ground. So you can't really see through it, but maybe just a little bit. So it's probably middle ground. So I ranked it a little bit lower, but I do love the fact that I'm getting a little style here with my sublimation blanks, right? So I'm getting the thumb holes, I'm getting the little hood on them, a little bit of style to go along with my sublimation projects. So I do like this one. It just kind of ranked a little bit lower because I'm not positive I would want a polyester feel with like a little hooded thing like that. Now, let's move on to like hoodies and jackets for ladies. And I do have some more like these specialty products in the men's unisex type thing. All right, so the first two are the same and they're both from Sport Tech. One comes in different colors with like white accents. The other is just plain white. So you can see just a plain white one here. I ranked these really high. They're super high quality. The feel, I mean, it does feel like a fleece or a polyester, but it is what I would expect with a full zip like this. I wear full zip jackets like this all the time, and they are a similar feel. And these are really thick, high quality jackets. The price factor ranked a little low, but overall the price isn't bad. The feel is great. I mean, you can't see through them because the material is super thick. Like, it is a jacket. Really, really nice. And this brings like a little something different that you can sublimate on. Not just t-shirts, right? So this is a full zip and then it has two pockets down here. Really, really love this. Looking for something a little more lightweight, I have that for you too. So this one is also from Sport Tech, but it's super lightweight and it's a half zip. So half zip pullover, super lightweight. However, you can see through it maybe a little bit. It ranks really high on my see-through factor. However, it really does feel like polyester. So this probably is more of a polyester feel than I would like. It's similar to that little hooded piece with the thumb holes and that really high polyester feel. And I would prefer a little less polyester feel with something like this if I was making it for myself. But you might have an application for this, and these are super nice. So now let's move on to like unisex type stuff and men's. Alright, so I actually talked about the artistry shirt during the women's version, but I had it in the men's pile. It is, the smallest I was able to get with this version was a 2X, so it looked really big, so I threw it in the men's pile. It is kind of a unisex sizing on the adult shirt, I will say that. So it should probably went in the unisex pile. However, it's definitely one of my highest ranking shirts with, you know, very little see-through. And it feels like cotton. So if you're looking for that cotton feel, I always recommend the artistry shirts usually to people. So next up is from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and this is Port & Company. Now this one is only 65% polyester. So the feel is amazing because it's not 100% polyester, but I did rank it a little bit lower because of it not being 100% polyester. And the see-throughness is pretty good, right? So I can't see through it really. It's like maybe a 3 or 4 out of 5. Can see through it a little bit. The feel's amazing, however, ranked it a little bit lower because of that polyester count. Next up is Heat Transfer Warehouse, that same Port & Company brand, except 100% polyester. So I just talked about the 65% polyester version. Here's the 100% polyester version of the same shirt, and it does definitely feel like polyester. So it's really high quality, can't really see through it. However, I did rank it a little bit lower because of the feel of the shirt itself. If you're looking for that cotton feel, the Port & Company 100% polyester may not be for you. Now I ordered a few shirts from Condi. Condi carries a brand called Vapor Apparel. It is actually very similar to the artistry shirts. But Vapor Apparel does carry a wide range of shirts. So they carry some all the way from the cotton feel all the way to more like moisture wicking and sports shirts. So I ordered a couple of different ones. And I ordered a scoop neck and a V-neck. So the V-neck is first. And these both got basically the same score. They don't exactly feel like cotton, I wouldn't think, but the feel is decent. And they are really high quality. So Vapor is one of my favorites for quality apparel. Talked about the artistry shirts a lot. Vapor Apparel is definitely like a very high quality manufacturer. And I know it's not a brand name that you hear like Gildan or Hanes or something like that for non-sublimation shirts, but for sublimation shirts, Vapor is a very good high quality brand. And here's that same shirt in a scoop neck instead of a V-neck, basically the same thing. Again, the feel is really nice. However, it's not all the way to being like cotton. And then I also ordered, just to throw in a little variety here, this is definitely not the only collared shirt I found, but this is a version from Condi and it's the Vapor Apparel. So it is definitely more of a moisture wicking polyester feeling shirt. Very high quality, which is what I would expect from the Vapor brand. Overall gets a high ranking. And if you're looking for some different things, colored shirts, that type of thing, huge wide variety at Condi. These are just a few I pulled out. I don't think you can go wrong with anything under the Vapor Apparel brand. If you find something you like, I would definitely try it. All right, now I have a few hoodies for you. So the first one is an Amazon find. And this one is definitely maybe, I would call it the Amazon find of the day. That Hanes shirt was pretty good, but this one is really awesome. So it does say right on the label, 100% polyester. I know it's a polyester blank. I know I can sublimate on it. Gorgeous hoodie, has the pockets on the front, so the big pocket, and it's pretty thick, like really nice feeling. Of course I can't see through it because it's so thick. Definitely a very good Amazon find and one of my highest rankings because it's just really high quality, and super surprised I found this one on Amazon, but very, very good find there. And then the second hoodie I have is from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So if you're wanting, this is a Portland Company hoodie. And if you're looking for something that would be in some colors that you could sublimate on, Portland Company, I think, would be the right answer from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Again, super high quality, can't see through it, anything like that. Both of the hoodies have a similar feel. So it's not exactly like cotton, but it's definitely a material feeling that I would expect a hoodie to be out of. So a little bit slick like polyester, but a feel that I really like for a hoodie product, I'll say that. Alright, so now I'm surrounded by shirts. Which shirt should you buy for your sublimation projects? Okay, so I'm going to list everything in the description below. Every shirt I talked about. So that way if you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to try that, drop down to the description below. If you are on computer, click show more. If you're on mobile, click the arrow to expand the description or swipe up on the video depending on how you're watching. Now, which shirts do I personally use? With my sublimation crafts, mostly I stick with the shirts from Artistry or the shirts from Cricut. Just generally what I prefer. I know I can get them quickly. They have a good feel to them. They feel more like cotton than most of the other shirts. And I really like the way the sublimation looks on those. So Cricut and Artistry are two of my favorites. I don't think you can go wrong with anything from Vapor Apparel. I'll say that. And then if you want some of this wide variety, I would try some of the pieces that I showed. So the Heat Transfer Warehouse has great prices, and I'm always impressed with how quick they ship to me. I will say that. So if you're like not wanting some of the Amazon bargains I found, that might be a little sketchy, I don't know. If you're not wanting those, Heat Transfer Warehouse is a great option. They ship super quick and have great pricing. And then you can get some things like those full zips that are really cool that I can't wait to try something with, and the hoodies, which I also have been wanting to sublimate on a hoodie for a while. So hopefully this helps you pick out the right sublimation shirt for your project. If you have any questions about any of the shirts we covered, anything else, please drop down in the comment section, ask away. If this video helped you, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.